Hi guys, this is Alec from Traxxas RCC showing you a how-to video on how to change your shock oil on your Traxxas Slash 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive. First you're going to get your Allen wrench. You got to take off your shock first. Okay, now once you've got this off, be careful, there is a spacer right in here. Don't lose that. Now you can take your shock off. So, once you have your shock off, you then can grab your needle nose pliers and pull off these spacers inside here. Set those to the side. Now what you're going to do is you're going to want to pull back the spring, and you can use this again to pull this. You're going to lift up, and then it comes out. Now what you can do is you can take off your actual springs. Set those to the side. Now the next thing you're going to do is take off this right here. This is at the very top. You're going to want to pull that off so all these things come off. Now what you're going to want to do is you can get like a paper towel, and what you want to do is you just want to clean this up. It's really dirty. You see all that stuff that's coming off right there. There's going to be a lot of this stuff on here. Okay. Now what you want to do is you're going to want to open this. You can use an Allen wrench for this. You want to be a little careful when you do it because it is plastic up here unless you have the aluminum ones. But since this is plastic, you're going to want to be careful. Just barely twist it to get it off. Once you have that off, that's off. There's going to be one of these things in here. And what you want to do is you want to pull this off. What you want to do is you want to empty out your shock oil. I just cleaned this out. Now, what I've found that actually works pretty good is you get some water and you pretty much just clean everything out. Make sure you clean everything out. Clean off the sides so you can scrub it. But when you do this, you want to make sure that before you put the shock oil in, that pretty much 100% of the water is gone. Now, you can use a paper towel to clean off this. You see there's some stuff coming off. See, now what you're going to want to do is get a Q-tip, works best, and go like that and just clean that off. Now you want to bring down this and you can really clean inside there. There's just going to be a lot of black dirt and stuff like that. See that? Now you can flip it over, use the same one. Now you want to really make sure that you get all of this out, because if you don't, the shock's not going to perform as well as you want it to. So really make sure that you can get all that out. You might need a couple more Q-tips to finish it. Okay. Now that it's clean, what you can do is use a paper towel again and just wipe the outside. Just make sure that everything is dry and cleaned off. Make sure this thing right here is really tight. Now what you're going to do is grab your shock oil. Now, when you want shock oil, I prefer the 45W. It is the Team Associated brand. It works really good for me. So, okay. Now, you see your shock. You're going to want to pour it in until it gets to the very top. Right at the very top. You don't want to. You just want to get it to where if you fill it up any little bit more, that it would overflow. And when you are filling it up, you want to make sure that this is all the way down. Now you see it's at the very tip. Now you want to slowly push up, just very slowly so it doesn't overflow, and just push up very slowly. Now you can see it at the top right there. And once you get to the top, you can turn it, and you'll see some air bubbles come out. And pretty much what you want to keep doing, you just want to pretty much keep doing this until there's no air bubbles left. You can pull it back down. Just make sure you're doing everything very slowly. Keep doing it just until there's really no more air bubbles left. Pull down. Do it one more time. It shouldn't take that many times. I mean, there's going to be some air in there, but it shouldn't take that many times to get most of it out. Okay, now that you have that, I also clean this that goes inside. Clean that with some water, just make sure it's all clean. You're going to want to put this over it, and you can use like your finger, your pinky finger, and just make sure you push it in. Now it's going to overflow a little, which is supposed to happen. You can go around and clean it. Okay. Now what you're going to do is put this over it. Make sure you can find the threading perfectly. Okay. Okay. Now that I've found it, you can tighten it pretty tight. Now you don't want to, you can use an Allen wrench, you don't want to use it too tight. Just like when you did it, just to make sure that it's pretty good. Okay, so after you have the top on, you've wiped everything off, you have the top on, you can make sure that it doesn't make any noise. It can make, a little whistling noise, nothing really major. If it makes any scratching noises, that means there's still dirt, you didn't clean it out good enough, it needs to get back in there, you need to clean it up back again. And it kind of sucks because you pretty much just wasted oil if you need to re-clean it again. Take all that oil out, you don't want to reuse that. Another thing you can do is you can make sure you clean your springs, get those all clean, because dirt does get in there after a little while. I have actually not had this truck for very long. I just got it recently. The Raptor edition, at least. I've had other Traxxas. I do have other Traxxas models, but I have not had this truck for very long, and the shocks have already gotten this dirty. So it's good to clean. Make sure you don't bend the shocks. Okay, after it's clean, the first thing you're going to want to put on is this piece right here. This little ring, make sure it's facing this way when you slide it on. Okay, then after that goes the spring. And then after you put the spring on, you're going to want to kind of push it back just a little. And then now you're going to want to put this, make sure you put it on like this, with the little part that's sticking out goes towards the bottom. Okay. Make sure you can push that down a little. Okay, there you go. Now if you want to put your spacers back in, depending on how many you have, you want to obviously pull this down and you can pop them on. Okay, after that you're going to want to put it back in the truck. Okay, and you can screw that part in. Okay, once that is somewhat tight, you can go back there later and tighten that. Just make sure that it's in enough so it'll stay stable when you put in the other screw. You're going to first want to take the washer right here, and you're going to want to put that, you're going to want to put the screw through, and then you're going to want to put the washer on the other side of the screw. Oops. Like this. And then you want to make sure it gets on this part. You do not want that washer to fall off. Okay, you can screw it in with your finger, screw it on the hole. Then take your Allen wrench. Make sure this is fully tightened. Make sure the bottom one is tightened. Okay. Check the top one real quick just to make sure. Okay. So now you're all set to go. Now that the shock is back on, as you see, you're all set to go. Thanks for watching. Subscribe.